Hello everybody, welcome to today's Marketing Innovation Podcast show. This is Andrei and today with me we have Roland. Together we will discuss about the latest Facebook release, which is the Facebook portal. You have probably heard about it in the news, but what we're going to focus on today is why this is important and more specifically why marketeers should pay attention to it. Let's dive straight into it. So hi Roland, how is everything going? Long time no speak.
Hi, yeah, I've been extremely sick these days and I hopefully can make it through this podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a shame. It's probably the weather. I think it affects most of us here in the UK. Not really ready to say so for the cold wave that came over. But yeah, no, thanks a lot for the time today. Really appreciate, and I'm sure it's going to be valuable for everybody here as well. So without further ado, let's dive into the subject. So the new Facebook release, I think that we were all waiting for them to release something. They released a video device actually. So Roland, do you want to make us a short introduction into the new portal devices?
Yes, so these are the first hardware products marketed under the Facebook brand. So we have the portal, which is like a replica of the Alexa Show, which goes for $200, and then the Portal Plus, which is like an 18-inch screen, 15-inch I think, that can be either vertical or horizontal, and it's usually used for big meetings. It has a wide lens camera, so it can capture big teams and groups of people very well. And having such a big screen, I think that's better for group communication instead of personal communication. So this would directly compete with Google Smart Display and Alexa Echo. Innovation in machine vision and the way they use AR and the Facebook messaging platform to integrate this with the phones and the other products in the ecosystem.
Sweet. And what do you think about their technological parts and also integrating with a surprise assistant that we saw here?
Yeah. So
which is Alexa.
Yeah. So I guess the big differentiating feature of the portal is the advanced tracking capabilities. The smart display is designed to simplify video chatting by having a wide-angle camera, as I said, and that would be able to zoom actually and keep track of where you're going and where your face is. So like the angle is I think more than 180 degrees, so it can pretty much capture the whole room, but the video works so that it zooms in your face and in your body position, and then if you move around the room, the camera will follow you, so you won't exit the point of view of the person of you're talking with.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. And also, now again, these are going to be a couple of the things I will discuss today, but having this technology only within the device and not all the other abilities or applications that Facebook could have added into it, apart from playing music on Spotify and again the video call, it's a bit of a limitation that it makes probably many people wonder why only this. So
my opinion is that they just launched a new platform, mostly video focused and like kind of a, how the first Echo was a new kind of platform for Amazon. They're kind of the same thing for Facebook. So they're moving away from their like smartphones devices or let's say the VR headsets, and this is a new product and a new line of products that are supposed to be in your living room or in your kitchen, and they're trying to go step by step and see which features are mostly they had a lot of problems with security and how people perceive Facebook in general. So they're trying to rebuild this trust by going one step at a time, and they would only bring features that they would see people enjoy most and think that people would be the most accommodate with. That's why they added this feature of disconnecting the microphone and the camera completely, something you don't have for Amazon or Google, let's say.
Yeah, I saw the little thing that you put on the lenses, and then
Yeah.
in theory nobody watches you anymore. Awesome. So from the tech perspective, yeah, I think that it's interesting to see them coming on the market with a product so similar to Alexa, for example, because the competition is going to be quite fierce there. Now, obviously, they are in a difficult time because they had to launch something in order to be, at the standard, or still competing with Amazon and Google as well, mainly as Amazon has just launched a new Echo Dot. So even if it's not exactly the same thing, it's still in this space. Again, one thing that I think is worth mentioning in the tech side of things is also that Facebook actually has his own messenger assistant when it performs the messenger's tasks, and only goes with Alexa when performing the external tasks. So here is, one thing that points, at least, me as a sort of like from the strategy side behind it and so on, in terms of what they might want to develop going further from here. So in terms of the external side and the Amazon, specifically Alexa being used here, this is potentially a very good indicator of their direction, possibly towards e-commerce. But before going into the actual hypothesis that we can put forward, let's go a bit into their vision and what Facebook has tried to accomplish in the past couple of months, years. We heard them talking a lot about giving the people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. So we heard that quite a lot, but actually they were playing around a lot with social VR and promising people a more virtual reality experience. What do you think about this?
Yes, so they're going big on VR because they think that creating social VR and social VR applications is exactly what the company stands for. So it stands for bringing people closer and creating communities. And in VR is like the fastest way to do that when people are on like kilometers away from each other's. And creating these environments where people can just collaborate and work together instead of like just using the camera, but you have hand presence and facial recognition, and you can create these very photorealistic avatars that would present the person. These make you feel more you feel a different kind of presence when communicating with your loved ones. And what I think Portal is, first of all, is an intermediary product, because the promise of VR is still 5 years away from here, at least, because we have to develop new technology that would allow us to get to that point. So video is here. Video has been popular for many years, and this is just better. It's video on steroids. And I think this, first of all, would work as a portal into the others' lives and as a meeting device and communication device between a group of people or just families and relatives. We also have the AR capabilities for interacting and having good moments for families and grandparents and stuff like that. And what I think the conversion with VR will be that these portals will literally become portals into the VR social spaces. So if let's say your grandkids are in VR and using VR and you want to watch them, but you don't, or you have like a group, like 4 people that would want to go into VR, but they don't have 4 headsets, they could just launch this portal and have exactly like a portal inside the VR space. So you'd have, if you were in VR, you would see a window opening, like, a portal like in Aladdin or other Disney movies, and you'd see those people there and you would be able to communicate with them. That's what I think the long-term vision of this would be, and this is how I think it won't cannibalize, or VR would not cannibalize video or the other messaging platforms, but they would integrate very tightly together.
Nice. And also the name is quite smart from this perspective.
Yeah.
Portal. It makes all of us that are in the Facebook market, to say so, to be able to identify it. Yeah, pretty cool. So maybe now we can go and maybe try to predict what they might be able to expand also. So one thing that came into my mind, and I mean, as a marketeer, and also, you know, from this marketing angle, we were discussing just a bit ago about how the Facebook AR filters were incorporated into e-commerce, and how you can, there are quite a few companies at the moment, the more innovative ones that use these sort of smart filters and letting people try on new accessories and so on with Facebook. So one of the areas where it's very easy to apply AR would probably be, for example, trying on, as girls, lipsticks or makeup or clothing, accessories, stuff like that. But what I think, from considering the integration of the portal with Alexa assistant, which is integrated in the Amazon ecosystem for e-commerce, and then considering the trend of advertising through VR, I think that it would be a really cool thing to integrate e-commerce in this space, where you could actually speak, for example, like we speak at the moment and we see each other, or when somebody speaks with their friends, but they also shop online, to be able to integrate this element on both sides, so they can ask for opinions regarding a specific accessory or a specific hat or things like this. Because usually what we know is that mainly girls, but not only, guys do it as well, tend to go together shopping and in the mall and stuff like that. So the shopping experience is incorporated with the social experience, and it's also good to, get somebody's opinion on the outfit, etc., etc. So I think that if Facebook could integrate this element of real-time trying on new accessories and stuff like that with the element of communicating with your friends and asking for their recommendations or opinions and so on, and then being able to order that right away, I think is going to be essentially a new dimension of online shopping, which integrates this new social element as well, that is very, very engaging. And I think it's basically just shopping almost the same way that you'd do in a shopping mall, but from the comfort of your home. So saving time as well as increased comfort, just in case you don't like to go to the mall for the mall atmosphere. But I think it's quite cool. It's probably not something that will happen this year, let's say, but this would be a scenario that would be quite interesting, don't you think?
Yes, especially I think these applications would be most useful for friends that are at a distance. As you know now, like a big trend in millennials is to travel or to study abroad, and with that, a lot of connections get lost in time, because distance, it's a big factor of having relationships degrades in time. Degenerate in time. And I think with this, the main potential would be to bring this, or to keep these connections healthy, and bring the element of presence back through virtual environments. And hopefully the graphics would be at a certain level that it won't seem funny and it won't seem gimmicky. It would try to bring photorealistic avatars and products and graphics into place, so that it would be almost there. It would be like real presence.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, let's see what's next. I think that we are all quite excited here. So just going back a bit to, we were tackling the Alexa subject quite a bit in our previous podcasts. Fitting Facebook's new release within the Alexa ecosystem, we know that they were trying out a new assistant called M in Messenger. So we thought they would come up with a with an Alexa type of device, having M as the assistant. Instead, they came up with this device incorporating Alexa for the external tasks, probably using some sort of version of M for the internal messenger chat assistant. And then I think it's quite a nice move here that they didn't choose to enter in a very crowded market, but rather adapted to it, to introduce this new product as well, mainly after the scandals that they had for data breach, security, and everything else. So I think it's quite an intelligent move they made here overall.
Yes, yeah. There would be two factors that influence this decision. One would be the amount of competition there's already there. So they would have to compete with Amazon, which are the leaders at the moment, Google, which are very close to Amazon, and then Apple. So they would have basically no chance of trying to bring something new to the market. So that would be the first one. Second one would be that they still have to rebuild this trust with their users. And having an assistant that gets information and sends it to Facebook would be one way not to do that. So they chose to go in a partnership with Amazon, just because Amazon is is more reliable, and people would trust the product a bit more, knowing that the information is not going to Facebook but to Amazon.
Yeah, exciting times ahead. Let's see how everything is gonna plan out. Another thing that maybe was linked to this and we didn't discuss too much today was about the again, going back to our social media guru, to say so Gary Vaynerchuk. He was quite vocal about how social media and Facebook is replacing TV, and then also the launch of Facebook Watch. And he was suggesting that it would be a good idea for Facebook to maybe launch a mini TV or something like that, because at the same time the Facebook audience is growing a bit older. So we see Instagram, for example, being very popular amongst people below 25, 27, and then the people that were early adopters of Facebook now are entering probably their 30s, 40s. We see a lot of parents being involved a lot with Facebook, while not so much with Instagram. So Instagram demographic is the younger one at the moment, while the Facebook one gets old. And I think it makes sense a bit from their perspective as well, that they would see this audience as being more engaged with TV, because TV is what they grew up with in the first place when they were young. What do you think?
Yeah, I think because parents and grandparents are usually more sedentary than teenagers and millennials, they are trying to create this new category of products for them, because they will be more home or more in the kitchen. Or, for example, my mother is spending a lot of time in the living room just browsing Facebook, and having this product as a TV kind of format would allow them to either be in the kitchen and cook and at the same time consume Facebook, or just have a bigger screen for kind of a new way of using Facebook. It is not very clear, because they haven't gone into that direction a lot. They just gave us a glimpse of what it might happen and how this might turn into an actual Facebook TV. But the main feature they enabled in the portal, it's called Facebook Watch. So basically Facebook Watch is their video platform as a response to YouTube, or as a response to, not as a response, but basically a different version of IGTV. So you have videos that come one after the other, and you can just scroll through them, and they're trying to minimize friction a lot. So most probably when a video finishes, another one is gonna start. So you basically, if you have a good profile on the Facebook and they know what to give you as videos, you can just binge watch a couple of clips in 10 minutes and just watch like 3 or 4 clips. So yeah, this would be a new medium of doing that instead of being on your phone.
Got it. Cool stuff, cool stuff. Okay. Yeah, really interesting. I'm glad that we got a chance to tackle this subject now because it's quite, in the news. So it's good to get our audiences as well. So you guys listening, if you have your thoughts or if you know something is going on, let us know because we'd be quite interested to see what's going on, and if you guys work in organizations that are working with Facebook on the Facebook Watch specifically, or if there are any plans in the pipeline that you can share, then we'd be super interested to see what's behind the scenes. But so far this is what we know, and this is what we think is gonna possibly happen in the next couple of months, years, or the direction. But otherwise, I think that for this episode, we are in a good position to wrap up. Roland, what do you think? Is there any angle that we didn't touch too much on? I think we are quite...
Yeah, mainly the big idea for marketers to take in is the use of AR in this product, and how AR is mainly the main interaction tool between people that are communicating with the portal and through the portal. So you have a lot of filters, you also have a lot of AR games you can play with the other ones. So if they make a good campaign for a certain product and they also implement a filter or a mini game in AR, they would cover a new kind of medium, this medium. There's something that Amazon Echo doesn't have yet, but you can find it in mobile AR. So with Portal, you should, instead of having like one-to-one AR interaction, you should try to think about more like group-to-group AR interaction, and have the filters and the mini games interact between multiple people, not just two people.
Yeah, and also I think that AR from a pure marketing perspective is a very engaging and modern way of doing marketing. So it's not push, it's actually interactive. So I think it's a very nice new opportunity to rethink advertising. So yeah, super cool. As a wrap up, again, I think it's very valuable what you said. So this would be the main idea as well from what I think as well. Just trying to see new opportunities in the AR space and trying to keep on the top of these new releases, because they can represent good opportunities for brands that jump on the new trends to actually get additional exposure, or to position themselves again as leaders. And until next time, we look forward to hearing your thoughts, and as always, if you have ideas that you'd like us to cover, let us know and we'll include it in the upcoming content calendar. Roland, thank you very much for being with us today. A big pleasure. You guys, thanks a lot for being with us today again. And until next time, keep up the great work, keep shining, and keep inspired. See you soon.